has been said before, but it's worth repeating. Travel is like a drug. The more we do it, the more we need to do it. Besides great benefits, it has side effects, from exotic diseases, post-vacation blues, layovers, and delays, so why risk it? For better or worse, travel is something that changes the way we see the world, and the way the world sees us. Stay at home by all means, but those cocktails being mixed right now as the sun sets over a perfect white sand beach aren't going to drink themselves, and you will go on being exactly the same person you've been for as long as you can recall. So book that ticket now and experience some of the ways I encountered that can change your life. And this is a road trip in Arizona with beautiful sights. So enjoy the views and hear my stories. I personally started traveling from very early age. I was probably in the middle school when my father, who was in the military at the time, started taking me on his trips for work, and I had a chance to see different cities and towns and explore in my own country in Belarus, where I was born and raised. Then when I got older and I was in high school, we had different programs to go travel to Europe, visit different countries and cultures, and have an exchange program with other students from different countries. So I took advantage of that as well, and I really enjoyed being on my own, being independent, and travel with other peers or people of my age. It was so much fun. I had so many different great experiences, and what I also gained was a lot of confidence and no fear to do things on my own. In my school, we had an opportunity to study a foreign language. And to be honest with you, I really was not thrilled about languages at first, and English that I studied was not my best subject, or I was not really good at it. But after my travels and after experiencing the world, after trying to communicate when I went to other countries, especially as a teenager, it motivated me to study more and have fluency to communicate with other people in the world. I even took a step further and I entered a linguistic program in college. And I was able to go on exchange to United States to visit and travel and also practice my English. And that's how United States became my new home. Looking back at my younger years, never in my life I could have imagined that the travels and my motivation to study English would bring me to United States or let me travel so much around the world. When you travel abroad, you get to experience a new and different way of life. Everything is new the moment you step off the plane. It's a new landscape, a foreign language, a different culture, new people. You will never be more exposed to new things. As a result, you will have to adapt to your new surroundings. This will broaden your perceptions and force you to become more open-minded. You will also learn to respect other people and other opinions. It's inevitable that traveling internationally will open your mind and challenge your perceptions. But nothing would change the way you see your life quite like seeing the way other people live. The local people will introduce you to new traditions and expose you to life in their country. You will learn about their daily struggles, the things that bring them joy, and the value they place on family and friends. Your interactions and heightened understanding will give you a great appreciation of the life you have, a new sense of wonder and empathy for other people and cultures. Being in Arizona, I was actually impressed how different the landscape was as you were driving by. It was changing all the time. So is with travel. Every turn offers brilliant landscapes, and you will be wowed by the diversity of every country's natural beauty and history. During your travels, you will also see the world in a different light. You will see how people rely on the earth for their livelihood and understand the importance of environmental conservation for both their survival and the survival of the country's wildlife. It will also help you understand your place in the world. At first, you might lose yourself, and then you will find yourself. It isn't all going to be rainbows, waterfalls, and sunsets, but you will see the sunshine when the storm passes. You'll be rinsed free of the sweat, dust, and dirt you collect on the road, and the day will fade away, leaving you with nothing but your newly discovered achievements. Traveling abroad will change you because when you're away from everything familiar, you begin to discover who you truly are. By seeing the life experiences of others, you begin to see your own in a new light. There are endless ways that travel can change your life. It's all up to you to embrace it. Even with my own story, I will tell you for sure that you will become more confident. People who travel often have greater confidence because they have forced themselves to get outside their comfort zone and embrace the unfamiliar. When you travel, you have to manage many things on your own. Everything from organizing a hotel and deciding where to eat to negotiating local transportation, you will have to make independent decisions. You should be truly impressed after exploring a destination on your own. I remember countless times when I would go to a new country and would like to buy some souvenirs at the local market. In some cultures, it's even disrespectful, or they will consider you dumb or ignorant if you do not negotiate the price and you just buy it at whatever the price tag is. So many times you just have to negotiate with them, negotiate down that price of the souvenir. So if something costs $20 or they tell you it's $20 price for that specific souvenir, you definitely have to try to get them down to $10 or maybe even less. And it is the same story in most countries I visited. You always negotiate. If it's not a gift shop or a store and you're buying something from the market, make sure you get a better price every single time. I remember the time when we lived in Algeria and my father taught me a very valuable life skill of negotiating. So he would come to the store and he would want to buy something. So he had a certain price in his mind and he would start negotiating the price with the owner or whoever was selling it. Just keep in mind that my father did not speak Arabic. So he was pretty much explaining to the owner that he wanted to buy it for a certain price on a piece of paper, or he was showing on his fingers how much he's willing to pay for it. And believe it or not, most of the times that he was negotiating, of course, they would say no. So what he would do is he would tell me, okay, let's go. Let's just start walking out of the store. And as soon as that happened, the owner saw us leaving and they would start chasing us and giving us the price we wanted. So that was his skill of negotiating, and I was always impressed how he did that, and he was able to get the price that he wanted in this very unique and funny way. My father was very confident and very stubborn, and he never settled for full price. Many Americans I've met are too embarrassed to negotiate the price, whether they're buying a car or anything else, but for me it became the second nature of negotiating. After all these experiences I had during my travels, negotiating prices for souvenirs or anything else that I wanted to buy. So I do the same in the United States, and I don't feel any shame of doing so. I even help my friends negotiating better prices for some bigger purchases. I guess you just lose that shame barrier when you're trying it many times in other places, knowing that you will never meet these people again, and you will get a better deal for yourself. Learning new skills is a big part of traveling, and sometimes you would even surprise yourself what new skills you're going to bring back home. While overseas, plans can change at any moment, whether it's double-booked accommodation or broken down bus. You will learn to think on your feet and prepare for the unexpected. As your confidence grows, so will your ability to reason quickly and anticipate changes. Through your interaction with strangers, you will improve your social skills and might even learn a new language. Just like in my story, it motivated me to study English to get better at it so I could communicate freely with my new friends. It may seem daunting at first, especially if you are traveling solo, but making new friends while traveling is surprisingly easy. The reason is that other travelers are looking to make friends too. You will make friends from all walks of life who have chosen the same path as you. When I first came to the United States, I already knew English, and it was very helpful for me to communicate and make friends. Although I didn't know anybody here, I didn't have friends or family around me, I made friends quickly, and I really enjoyed those relationships that lasted many, many years. You can even grow your family traditions by traveling with your kids or your spouses. By taking us out of our ordinary settings and routines, travel has a way of connecting generations by placing people together on new, neutral grounds. I personally took my kids to the Grand Canyon this year, and it was a wonderful bonding experience. Traveling fuels your sense of adventure, pushing you to take on new challenges and step out of your daily grind. It also helps you develop patience that can help reduce stress in your everyday life. When I was a kid, I personally did not have all the appreciation for those experiences my father did with me, and only now I realize how much appreciation I have for those days and those skills that my father taught me during our travels. But even if you're traveling alone, you definitely increase your adaptability. Travel throws unexpected challenges your way. Learning to navigate foreign environments makes you more adaptable at home and in the workplace. You also gain a tolerance for uncertainty. Placing yourself in such situations helps you cope with the uncertainties in life, and we all know there is no shortage of those. One of my personal favorites is trying new things, new activities, and foods during my travel. I'm scared of heights, but one time when I went to Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, they did parasailing on the beach. I was scared, but I was fascinated, and I wanted to try it at least once in my life. Under the normal circumstances, I would probably have never tried it. But because I was away on the trip, I took a risk and I truly enjoyed it. It was so peaceful and relaxing. But since then, I've never done it again. Besides those unique activities, you will probably be spending a lot of hours walking and touring the new places. So back at home, I would hardly walk 2 or 3 miles a day. But during my travels, I can easily walk 5 or 7 miles a day, and I wouldn't even notice it. Many people told me that they even lost weight during their travels because every day is packed with so many activities and you're constantly walking or going someplace. But if you're visiting any parks, you will do a lot of hiking too, so it's definitely a wonderful exercise. I also mentioned food, and every time I go to a new place, I try new foods and local cuisines. You can expand your palate beyond your imagination. I'm gonna give you a couple of stories that really surprised me. When I visited Iceland, the only foods that they really ate there was lamb and fish, because that was the only thing that was available to them. And in Peru, because of the mountains and high altitudes, the only animal that could tolerate all those hills and mountains was alpaca. So most of their food was made out of alpaca, from alpaca steak to soups and stews. Guinea pig was another animal that they ate there and they grilled, and for some of you who have them as home pets, it's probably really bizarre to hear these stories, but in countries like Peru, they do eat guinea pigs. I remember my childhood and those couple of years in Algeria that we spent as a family, and because of them being a Muslim country, the only meat that they would sell in the store was chicken, and during their holidays they would eat lamb. But for us, who were big meat eaters, it was not enough, so we wanted to get our own meat, and my father had to go and hunt for wild boars. Then they would bring these big pigs back to our camp, dissect it, separate it. It was definitely wild and a little bit scary experience for me as a child, but it is also something that you will never forget for the rest of your life. And it gives you a huge appreciation for foods that you have available in the United States. Sometimes you need to leave home to appreciate what you have. Travelers often return with a renewal love for the familiar comforts of American life. Any kind of travels teach you a valuable money management lesson. Traveling on the budget teaches you how to value money. You learn to prioritize spending and discover that the best experience don't always have to come with a hefty price tag. You also learn quite a few tricks of being a minimalist. Living out of a suitcase teaches you about essentials. This minimalistic approach can simplify your life back home, reducing stress and clutter. On so many trips, I saw how people live, and I was impressed how little they can survive on. Whether it's lack of refrigeration and they just would buy the food or make the food for one day, to wearing the same clothes every day. When I still lived in Belarus and I was about 21 years old, I was working part-time and I was going to the office. And most of the coworkers were wearing the same sweaters or the same suits every day. So I will never forget how my boss was wearing the same green jacket every day to work. And that was the way of life. Everybody had maybe 1 or 2 pairs of shoes, 1 suit or 1 dress, a couple of sweaters that were worn daily. In the United States, you have a walk-in closet full of clothes, and you never see the person wearing the same shirt or the same dress twice. But back home, it was not the case. It was simple, and no one even paid attention to this. If you go into Europe, maybe Italy or Greece, you will see people dressed up very well. But just keep in mind that that's probably their only suit or their only beautiful dress that they own. It could be designer clothes, it could be designer shoes or purses, but they wear it probably every day. And of course, you're going to go shopping in those countries, and your spending contributes to the livelihoods of people around the world. Exploring new places can not only reignite old passions or help you discover new interests that can be both fulfilling and life-changing, but the new environments can also stimulate creativity. Whether you're a writer, artist, or the entrepreneur, fresh ideas often come from new experiences and sights. Make sure you check out my vlogs and my traveling playlist to see the videos from South America, from Dubai, Egypt, and Europe, and you might find some fascinating facts and amazing stories that I share with you. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like it, subscribe to my channel, and please let me know if you also love traveling and why. Traveling as an American doesn't just change the way you view the world, it also transforms how you engage with it. Maybe stepping out of your comfort zone, it will also bring out the best in you. With the right approach, you can explore the globe responsibly and enrich your life as well as learn new skills and meet new friends.